And now, here's your host.
Welcome back to the program. Zev Brenner. It's been a long time since we last had Bruce Teitelbaum, former chief of staff to Mayor Rudy Giuliani. He is now in real estate development, and he's embarked on a campaign to say thank you to Mayor Eric Adams. So, welcome back to the program, Bruce. Shavua Tov.
Thank you. Shavua Tov, Zev. Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to be with. So I know that you're doing ads, you're doing a campaign. Why, at this point in history, are you telling Jews, especially in the Orthodox Jewish community, say thank you to Mayor Eric Adams?
Look, Zev, everyone knows that this is a perilous time for the Jewish community here in New York, in America, across the world. Eric Adams has been a friend of the Jewish community for 25, 30 years, in particular now, with what's going on college campuses, on the streets of New York. He stood up for us. He's spoken on behalf of us. He's protected us. So he's done right by us. And I think Hakores Hatov is an important Jewish value. I think it's important the Jewish community stand up and they say thank you to the mayor, who's been very, very friendly. He's been with us. He stood with us. I think it's important that we say thank you to him.
No, I think it's important too, but why now? This thing has been raging since October 7th. Is it because the mayor is embattled with all these investigations?
Yeah. I mean, in particular, the ad I placed, it talks specifically about not only standing up for a friend, but when a friend's going through a tough time, and obviously he's going through a difficult time now. A lot of people are being critical. He's getting some bad press. There are some things happening that are causing, obviously, a lot of focus on what's happening at City Hall and in the city. So I think particularly now, when a friend is going through a tough time, you got to stand up for friends. If not now, when?
How is that? Does City Hall, are they aware of what you're trying to do?
I haven't spoken to the mayor in some time, nor have I spoken to any of the people who work for him or who are his political people. I don't think I need to. I think, it's important that we individually, collectively, communally, if there's something that we need to do, we should do it. We shouldn't have to be prompted or asked or coordinate with people. So I haven't spoken to anyone. This is something I've done in the past. I've done it in conjunction with other people in the community. This time I didn't think I wanted to wait. I wanted to act quickly, so I did.
No, it's nice. It's impressive. What's been the reaction so far?
It's been great. I've gotten so many dozens and dozens of phone calls from interesting from a lot of folks who are not Jewish, from the non-Jewish community, folks in Queens and the Bronx, in Manhattan, who saw the ad and said, you know what, kol hakavod, good for you. It's important that people stand up for the mayor, especially folks who have been helped and who the mayor has shown support to. I think actually a couple of groups I've spoken to are taking the ad and they're reprinting it and they're posting it themselves and they're sending it out themselves. So I think that's terrific, and I hope it does some good.
Well, it's great that you're doing that. Now, is it mainly the Frum community that's responding to you? Is it the general Jewish community? Who's responding?
Yeah,
to you?
It's been actually, I haven't received actually a single phone call from anyone in the Orthodox community. It's been people actually in the business community, people who I worked with years ago, a couple of non-Jewish groups, a couple of civic groups from Queens in particular that saw the ad in one of the political papers in New York. So I think that's great because frankly, I think the Orthodox community, the more conservative community, I think they appreciate and they support the mayor. I think it's important that folks who are maybe not affiliated or not from the Orthodox community, but who are Jewish, who live in the city, who are who benefit from the mayor's support, they too should be aware of what's happening. And I'm glad that they've responded and they're aware of what's happening.
We're getting some phone calls coming in. Let's see if we can squeeze in. Let's see, Ira in Brooklyn or Queens. Go ahead, Ira. Are you there?
Hi.
Ira, are you there?
Sure.
Okay. Ira, yes. What is your question for Bruce?
Mr. Teitelbaum, my sympathies are with Rudy Giuliani. I don't know what you're going with Mayor Adams about. I mean, how could you compare the two? Come on, please. And you we're working, Mr. Giuliani. Is this gratitude? Is this Hakores Hatov that you're talking about? Hakores Hatov?
I'm gonna let him respond to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about Rudy Giuliani now. I'm talking about the current mayor. Rudy Giuliani was the mayor 25, 30 years ago. He did what he did. I'm talking about what's happening in 2024 here in New York, and trying to express gratitude and thanks to the person who currently occupies Gracie Mansion and is the current mayor of New York.
And I thank you for your question. But I was just curious, Bruce, because Rudy Giuliani is going through hard times. Are you in touch with him? Is that something that you're involved with at all?
I haven't been in touch with the mayor, the guy I worked for a while. As I said, right now, what I'm concerned about is what's happening in New York today. And we live in a very, very challenging time, Zev, as you know. A lot of things are happening in the city. A lot of things affecting the Jewish community. Mayor Adams is the mayor right now. He's the guy in charge. I think it's important that we acknowledge what he's doing. And I think it's important for the Jewish community to express their appreciation for what he's doing for us.
So let's go to Aryeh for the phone. I didn't even got the phone number. The phones are ringing, Bruce. Here, Aryeh and Flappers, your question for Bruce Teitelbaum.
Yes, I would like to know if you think that the Columbia University Jewish students are grateful for Eric Adams for waiting several weeks before he sent the police in, during which they were afraid to go to classes. They were harassed and physically menaced. And people are saying that if the Ku Klux Klan was demonstrating on campus, he would have cleared them out in one day. So what do you say to that?
It's a good question. It's not as simple as that. Columbia University is a private institution, and the New York City Police Department is not allowed to go on. Hello?
Yeah, you have this on your radio. Yeah, go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, the New York City Police Department is not permitted to go on private property. They have to be invited onto the campus. So in the case you're talking about, that was a very challenging case. It was incumbent upon the people who ran Columbia University to work with the NYPD to invite them on. So the mayor didn't have the authority to unilaterally in day one send the police in. I'm sure if he had that power, he would have done it, but he didn't. So it's more complicated than you make it seem.
Okay, let's go to Judy in Brooklyn. Okay, Judy in Brooklyn, your question for Bruce.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can go ahead, Judy.
Okay, Bruce, could you please tell me what we're supposed to be thankful for? Could you highlight some things?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, number one, there were several things. First of all, the New York City Police Department is working extremely closely with the organized Jewish community. There's been extra protection put on Jewish schools, Jewish communal institutions, synagogues all across the city. Secondly, the mayor has spoken at every single major event in the city of New York, especially after October 7th, in support of the state of Israel, when almost every other politician in New York said nothing. Third, the mayor is working very, very closely with the leaders of the Jewish community who have asked him for extra police protection, especially the upcoming Jewish High Holy Days. So I think all of the things that he's done that I've just articulated, including the fact that he stood up very publicly, very clearly, very unequivocally in support of what the Jewish community is going through and in support of the state of Israel, when you compare that to the silence of the vast majority of elected officials of the city, I think that's something we should be thankful for and grateful for.
And there's also one other point to ponder, Bruce, is that in today's day and age, if you speak out for Israel, the repercussions, especially on the progressive left, they don't take it lying down if you're supportive of Israel.
Well, it's a great point, Zev. You know, it could be very easy for the mayor who lives and works in the city where there's an increasing progressive community. He could have said simply nothing, which, by the way, the vast majority of politicians, especially Jewish politicians in New York, have said nothing. And Zev's, you're making a very good point. Part of the reason is because we're afraid of the backlash from the left. Eric Adams was never fearful of that. As I said, he was one of the first to come out very clearly, very strongly in support of the state of Israel, condemning what Hamas did, condemning what's going on in Israel, and in addition, doing what he could do within the limits of the law to protect the Jewish community here in New York. That's just a fact.
We're speaking with Bruce Teitelbaum, former chief of staff to Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who is a Republican mayor, and he is telling Jews to say thank you to a Democratic mayor, Eric Adams, especially as being beleaguered by all kinds of investigations surrounding him. He wants the Jewish community to say thank you for his support of Israel. We're going to be right back. If you'd like to chime in, our phone numbers are 212-769-1925. 212-769-1925. You want to email is a wonderful way to have your questions answered. Zev at talklinenetwork.com. Zev at talklinenetwork.com. Do you believe we should be saying thank you to Mayor Eric Adams for his great support of Israel? Again, our number is 212-769-1925. Email Zev at talklinenetwork.com. We're going to be right back. And coming up in a little while, of course, you'll be able to hear Tzvi Gluck does a great job with a Mudim organization, General Avivi from Israel, about beepers. He says there's more in store for Hezbollah and Hamas. What that's all about, we'll be tackling. 212-769-1925, Zev at TalklineNetwork.com. We're going to be right back. Don't go away. Stay tuned. This is the Talkline Network.
Scattered, lost, drowning, struggling to keep their head above water. Hope, once a flicker, now extinct. Their pain is a silent storm, invisible to the world, so utterly alone. Then Amudim steps in. A dedicated clinical case manager becomes their anchor, personally on their case from the moment they reach out. These aren't just voices on the phone. They're trained experts who stay with them and their family, supporting and advising every step of the way to healing. Daily check-ins ensure they're not just surviving, but moving forward. When they can't see the path, Amudim illuminates it. When they stumble, Amudim steadies them. Amudim, not a helpline, a lifeline upholding hope and uplifting life. Will you be a part of saving lives? Please go to unitetoheal.com for the best of Amudim 36 hours of entertainment. Feel free to check out the full 36-hour schedule at unitetoheal.com and join the fun. And more importantly, help Amudim save lives, case by case. unitetoheal.com.
At the end of a long day, I unwind in my den with my favorite book and an amazing view out my Anderson windows. Reading as the sun sets helps me relax as I get lost in my imagination. I'm a self-expressionist. See more at andersonselfexpressionist.com. Love the life you see.
Available at Greater Windows and Doors at 1302 60th Street in Borough Park. Call them at 718-972-2626. Greater Windows has been serving the community for over 30 years. Commercial and residential accounts welcome. Online at greaterwindows.com. Rosh Hashanah and the Jewish holidays are coming, and it's time to celebrate with the authentic taste of Israel. Even Zahav brings you the finest wines and spirits straight from the Holy Land. For a sweet new year, indulge in Even Zahav's exquisite Goldstone Jerusalem of Gold orange liqueur, a unique blend of Galilean brandy and natural sweet and bitter orange essence. Or savor the new premium Even Zahav single vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon, aged to perfection in French oak barrels. Its aroma of black fruits, vanilla, and oak will transport you to the vineyards of Israel. Looking for something truly special? Try our super smooth arak, the Israeli rum loved by everyone, or the Even Zahav brandy VSOP in a luxurious gift box. And don't forget our award-winning Merlot, Cabernet, and the ever-popular Even Zahav vintage. So this Rosh Hashanah, make a l'chaim to life and let your spirits be lifted up with the finest Even Zahav kosher wines and spirits in the world from Israel, from Doina Limited. Hashana Tova to you and your family from Doina.
Tired of foot pain slowing you down? Hi, I'm Dr. Uriel Levy, a board-certified podiatrist with 33 years of experience, here to get you back on your feet. And great news, Brooklyn. I just opened up a brand new office in Flatbush at the 1911 Avenue L Medical Center of Dr. Kogel. I specialize in orthopedic and medical foot issues, crafting and prescribing custom-made orthotics from between 75 to 100 patients every week. That's a lot of happy feet. For those who have Medicaid managed care, orthopedic shoes would be covered if you are in medical need of custom-made orthotics. Whether it's plantar fasciitis, bunions, or just everyday aches, don't let foot pain hold you back. Also, I practice reflexology, combining my knowledge of feet and lower extremity issues with Eastern medicine. I like to think of myself as a soul healer, not just a podiatrist. Visit my new Flatbush office at 1911 Avenue L, right across from the Women's Mikvah, and around the block from Young Israel of Midwood. Or my Borough Park office at 1453 44th Street, or in Muncie at 4 Horizon Court. Please call me at 917-930-5800. That's 917-930-5800, or visit dr.soulhealer.com. The easiest way to schedule your appointment is through 917-930-5800. Your feet will thank you. Remember, the Sholosh Regalim are coming up. You need to be Raglei Mevasir. Let your feet bring good news this year. Yeshua's and Nechamas for all of Klal Yisrael. Don't give in to defeat.
Imagine a job where every day is about making a difference, where every day you're growing your career and empowering others. Direct support professionals are the champions who advocate for and support people with developmental disabilities. They are the people in our community fulfilling a calling that's more than work. Join us on a path that transforms lives, including your own. Apply to be a direct support professional at directsupportcareers.com. It's more than work. It's your calling.
Positive Moving and Storage, family owned and operated since 1985. Licensed and insured, offering you full service, packing and unpacking for your comfort and peace of mind. Honesty and customer service are our main goals. Now, for free estimate, 1-800-USA-MOVE, which is 1-800-872-6683, or a local number 718-443-7700. Our sages said, change your place, change your muzzle, for good and for blessing.
Don't let your home go up in smoke. A dirty chimney or dryer vent is a fire hazard waiting to happen. Protect your loved ones and your property with Clean My Duct. We offer a full range of professional cleaning services for your ducts and chimneys, keeping your home safe and healthy. Our quality, affordable services are available throughout Rockland County, Monroe, Westchester, the Catskills, upstate New York, and northern New Jersey. Breathe easier knowing your home is free of dust, allergens, and fire risks. Be responsible. Clean your ducts today. Call Clean My Duct at 845-204-3828. That's 845-204-3828. Or visit cleanmyduct.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 845-204-3828. Podcasts are everywhere, but cutting through the noise is tough. Did you know of the 5 million podcasts worldwide? Half of them only get 30 listeners? Want to reach a bigger audience? Think radio. Talkline Network gets you targeted listeners who are ready to engage with your message. Host your own show with us and supercharge your podcast's reach. We'll help you connect with the right audience. For a free consultation, call Talkline Network today at 212-769-1925, extension 100. That's 212-769-1925, or email zevbrenner@gmail.com. That's 212-769-1925, extension 100.
And you're listening to the Talkline Network over WSNR 620 AM Metro New York, WJPR 1640 AM in Miami, WNEW 102.7 FM HD3, America's only Jewish FM HD channel. You can access by being in the car, going to your FM radio, going to 102.7 FM, and press the HD button, and we are there. We also have a 24-hour day listen line, best access via your cell phones, where you can check us out 24 hours a day.
The preceding program is a paid advertisement. The opinions and views expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of AM 620 WSNR or its management.
This is AM 620 WSNR, Jersey City. Jersey City.
You're listening to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast, on the air since 1981.
And now, here's your host.
Okay, we're back. Bruce Teitelbaum is our guest, and we're taking your phone call. The phones are blazing. Let's go to Henya. Bruce Teitelbaum was former chief of staff to Mayor Rudy Giuliani. He's in real estate, and he's asking Orthodox Jews and Jews to say thank you to Mayor Eric Adams for his strong support for Israel. Let's go to Henya in Crown Heights. Henya in Crown Heights, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, Henya, go ahead. Shavua Tov.
Hi, Shavua Tov. First of all, this is the same Bruce Teitelbaum that was around Crown Heights during the riots. Is that correct?
That's me.
That's you. Okay, so I just wanted to make a comment. I hope you let me finish it. Okay, so we are grateful for the police presence that the mayor is providing to our synagogues, and that's really nice. However, for some reason, it seems that hoodlums feel empowered to attack Jews under Mayor Adams' watch. I feel
Are you blaming the mayor for that?
Well, let me finish and then you.
No, I just asked a question. Are you blaming the mayor
In a
for?
way, yes.
Why?
In a way, yes.
There's crime
That's
going
why,
through New
because-
York.
One moment, because I'm sure if there were demonstrations against Muslims or blacks for what their countries were doing, Mayor Adams would never allow these demonstrations to go on here. Especially, I remember that after 9/11, every politician was out there yelling and screaming, "We're not against Muslims. We're only against those who attacked us. And all the Muslims will be protected." I'd like Mayor Adams to keep reminding everybody that Israel is reacting. They're reacting to burning babies alive, to slaughtering people, to shooting them. It's not that they're doing anything to harm people. It's a reaction. It's unconditional to hear that the Israelis are killing innocent Palestinians. That's an outright lie. Hamas terrorists, and this is what I want the mayor to keep saying, Hamas terrorists want the people to be killed by the retaliation of Israel. This has to be stressed at every conversation. I don't think people are aware. I mean, they forgot already what happened October 7th. I want to know how many orphans and widows are there in Israel now? Is that mentioned?
And I appreciate your passion. I'll let Bruce respond. We have other people waiting online, but go ahead, Bruce. Do you want to comment?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Henya, I appreciate your comments. You should listen to the speech the mayor made a couple of months ago at a rally I attended. It was one of the most beautiful and passionate speeches. And everything you just...
Hold on, let him finish. I'll let you respond. Go ahead.
Everything you said, he said in that speech. The mayor repeatedly says what you've just said over and over and over again. You got to understand something. He's the mayor of New York. He's not the mayor of Jerusalem. He's not the mayor of Israel. And for someone to stand up and to do what he's done, especially, Henya, when you consider the relative silence of almost every other political figure in this city, in this state, including Jewish politicians, you have to give him credit. And by the way, let me explain something else to you. If we don't give him credit, the message that we're sending to politicians around the city is that no matter what they do, and I'm not saying every time they do what you think is the best or as much as they should do, but the message you're sending is, you know something, the Jewish community either doesn't care or they want more. Given what's going on in this country, in this city, in this state, and around the world, to have the mayor of New York, an African-American mayor of New York, who, as Zev pointed out before, is in a city now that is becoming increasingly progressive and left, for him to stand up and to say what he has said and to defend Israel the way he has done, it is commendable. It may not be perfect. It may not be as much as you want, but it's darn good.
Okay, Henya, your response.
I agree with what you're saying. I just don't agree with the demonstrations that he's allowing to go on. He would never allow these demonstrations if it was against his own people.
Henya, listen to me. I hear what you're saying. There's something called the First Amendment, and there's something called the freedom of assembly. And unfortunately, Henya, listen.
Harm.
Henya, let Bruce finish, and then we have a lot of other calls waiting. Go ahead.
Henya, I agree with you. I agree in the sense that what's going on in the city is terrible. It's not his fault, first of all. He is acting, I think, appropriately. He's acting in the best interest of the city and I think the Jewish community. And I think what we need to say is, by the way, Henya, I would agree with you. Mr. Mayor, thank you. You're doing good. Do more. That's okay. But we got to thank him. We got to say that. We got to tell him we understand and support what he's doing for us. You want to urge him to do more? That's okay.
Henya, thank you for your call. I appreciate it.
Pray for the peace of the country. Okay.
God willing.
We have to do that. Henya, thank you. Always nice hearing from you. Let's go to Stan in Forest Hills. Stan in Forest Hills, your question for our
Hello,
guest.
can you
Go
hear
ahead.
me?
We can hear you loud and clear, Stan.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, Stan.
Oh, okay. I wanna ask you
AT&T.
a yeah, okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Are you going to be, obviously, you're not doing this for no reason at all. You're doing it. Are you going to be working for the re-election of the mayor? Are you going to be working with him?
No, absolutely not. I'm not doing it for any reason other than for the reason that I said, Stan. I don't work for the mayor. I'm not on his political campaign. I don't get any benefit from the mayor. I'm doing this because as a person who's lived in the city for a long time, person who's been in politics, I can tell you, Stan, politicians are very sensitive. They read the paper, they listen, they're out in the streets.
Oh, yeah, they're sensitive, all right. Yeah, they're sensitive.
And they wa-
the
and-
thing
and they
that I
wa-
want to ask you is, go ahead. Please.
No,
Go
and they
ahead.
just and as someone who's worked for political people, it is important. I'm telling you, Stan, I've been there. It's important that when a politician goes out and does something, it's important that they get feedback from the community. Now, again, some people might think it's not good enough, not strong enough, not this enough, but I'm telling you that the mayor has stood up, and I think it's important for us to say thank you for what you've done. You want to say do more? You can say that. But I think it's important he understands that we're listening, we appreciate it, and we're thankful for what he's done for us.
Let me ask you a question. You are a Republican, are you not?
I am.
Okay, I would assume you're a loyal Republican, okay? Let me ask you this question. I'm putting you on the spot. Okay, the man you supported for over 25 years, the former mayor, has been literally destroyed by what has happened to him, and deservedly so, because of the cases in Georgia, and he owes money, and now he's in Florida in hiding or whatever. And to blame for that is Donald Trump. Do you support Donald Trump for president?
You know, I tell you, Zev asked me to come on the show to talk about.
I know what I am.
Stan, let the man speak. Go ahead.
Well, let him answer it. Go ahead. I have no problem.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, my support or not support of Trump is not relevant. I'm here to do one thing. I live in New York City. I'm concerned about New York City. I'm concerned about the Jewish community here in New York. And I'm here to tell people we're living in very perilous times, Stan. You know that. It is important. It's important that the Jewish community stand up, religious, not religious, old, young, Manhattan, Brooklyn, wherever you are. It is important, given what's happening in this city, to tell our leaders, especially the one who runs the city, thank you for listening and being concerned and standing up for the Jewish community. Period. I'm not talking about Trump, Giuliani, Pataki.
Well, let me ask you.
I'm saying 30 seconds. I have other calls and we have an email. I want to get to.
Quickly. When the federal government is finished with its investigation of him, then I'll thank him if he's not guilty of anything.
Why wait? Why not thank him before? If you like what he did, thank him now. Why wait?
No. I'll wait to see what the feds got on him. If they have anything, then I'll thank him.
All right.
Okay.
Your point. Thank you. Let's go to you. Let's go to Yechiel, or is it Yerachmiel?
This tough crowd, Zev.
I know. Go. Hey, wait to the next email question. Anyway, go ahead, Yerachmiel. Here. Yechiel, go ahead, Yechiel.
Yes, I'm saying I want to express my appreciation for what you are saying. That we all have to have a Hakores Hatov. He is Eric Adams is a true Ohev Yisrael, and hopefully everybody in the Jewish Orthodox community would realize that just like we are supporting Donald Trump, who is being targeted by the FBI for being a political enemy of the Democrats in power, but he is our friend. Exact same thing with Eric Adams. He's being targeted by the FBI for being their enemy, and he's also our friend. So we should be supporting Donald Trump and Eric Adams for the same reason. You're 100% right. Oh, we should have a Hakores Hatov, and he should know that we appreciate everything he's doing.
Anyway, thank you for your phone call. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let me excuse him one email question. Clock is ticking. BC writes, Eric Adams does not deserve any kudos at all, considering the lawlessness taking place in New York City. The NYPD under his leadership has failed miserably and will not win a second term. Your response?
Well, I don't agree. I think the city is safer than it was, certainly under the disastrous mayor we had 3 years ago. The city crime is down in almost every significant category. But beyond that, again, I want to refocus the audience. I'm talking about one thing. We have anti-Semites, Jew haters running around the city, protesting, threatening, bullying, attacking Jews all over the city. And the city of New York, the mayor, the police department is doing everything they can to combat that, stand up for the community, and speak out against it. That is what I'm speaking about. It is heartening to know that we have a mayor, especially with the high holidays approaching, that is working with this community. He understands what the issues are. He understands the pressure we're under. He understands the anti-Semitism. And it's not his fault that there's anti-Semitism in the city. He is standing up for us. He's listening to us. He's concerned about us. And that is all I am saying.
And there's another one, by the way, Bruce, you made a very important point before they want to talk about now. It's not just Mayor Eric Adams. There are a lot of elected officials that have gone on a limb supporting Israel. And you speak to some of them, and they will tell you that the mail, the email, the phone calls coming into their office is anti-Israel. Not enough people are saying thank you. And I'll tell you about
Zev, 1,000%. Zev, you should know that, there are certain Jewish organizations that take elected officials on trips to Israel's missions to Israel's. I've spoken to some of these elected officials. The hate mail that they get, their offices are flooded with emails and phone calls. I don't think people really realize how serious the problem of anti-Semitism is in this city, and how these politicians, a lot of them, are subjected to organized groups that go after them if they say anything in support of Israel. The easy thing to do, and this is the point, Zev, the simple and easy thing to do is to say nothing at all. People here represent New York. They don't represent Israel. A lot of these elected officials could say nothing.
And the problem is a lot of people who hate Israel are get on the phone, send emails, and
that's right,
contact elected officials, and we don't say thank you. And I just want to say there was a gentleman, I think his name was Farrell Mizell. He was Orthodox. He was a program director at Channel 9 when I had interviewed him. They did a special maybe when Israel was 60. I don't remember the exact year. And they did a wonderful all-day special showing the greatness of Israel. When I interviewed him after the broadcast, I say, will you do it again? He goes, absolutely not. I go, why not? Because people call to complain. Nobody called to say thank you. And I think that's a lesson that we have to learn from elected officials. If they're going out on a limb, if they're supporting our community, we have to say thank you. And I think it's a great point. But saying thank you, should people say thank you, Bruce? Here's the question. Should they be calling them? How should they do it?
It's very simple. You can email City Hall, call City Hall. The number is on you go on the website, call them, email them, send them a letter. When you see him in the city, at a parade, at an event, thank him. That's what you need to do. And let me tell you one other thing, Zeb. I think you were there this year at the Israel Day Parade.
Yes,
you were there.
Did
you see the security that the mayor ordered for that parade? Did you see
it was
the
heavy? It was massive.
Unprecedented. Those are the kinds of things that are important. But to say thank you, you can email them, call them, write a letter, call City Hall. All sorts of things you can do. You see them, just walk up to them. Mr. Mayor, thank you for supporting the Jewish community. That's the end of the story.
No, absolutely. Now, how are you getting your message across? You're promoting it here, of course, on this program. Where else are you out?
I previously, by the way, back, I think it was in January, we placed a series of ads in newspapers thanking the mayor because after the October 7th massacre, he spoke out forcefully, eloquently, and repeatedly. I had put some ads in certain papers. I've done that now. I did it previously with some other members of the Jewish community. And hopefully, as we've talked about this, I'd like to do it more. I think it's important, especially now because he's under some pressure right now. And there are things happening. Listen, it's a very, very big Jewish value. Stand up for your friends, Hakores Hatov. And when your friend's in need, especially when a friend's in need, it's important, especially then, to say, we're with you and we're going to support you. And that's all I'm trying to do.
And listen, I commend you for doing that. And to say thank you is a wonderful thing. Can they do more? Can you do better? That's another issue. But if they go on a limb, we have an obligation, not just to Mayor Eric Adams, but to others elected officials, and to say thank. Rich Vittori's example, even Christian Gillibrand has gone on a limb for Israel. We have to really go on a limb and say thank you. That's the least we can do.
Absolutely. And by the Richie Torres, you mentioned Congressman Torres, one of the greatest friends of Israel, huge Israel,
huge friend.
Great. And I can tell you, because Richie's a friend, he knows, he appreciates the support he gets. It's very important. Politicians need to know that people are supporting them. Otherwise, a lot of them may not go out on a limb. They may just say nothing.
Absolutely correct. Bruce Teitelbaum, former chief of staff. So you're spending most of your day in real estate, correct?
I'm trying, it's tough. Got to keep your head above water, do what you can. Ziv, you know the routine.
I know. It's good to have you back. It's been a long time, so we appreciate. We got to get you back more often. To look at how many.
Whenever, you know what, I remember, I told you earlier, Zev, I remember doing this 20, 30 years ago in New Jersey, and we were together a lot during the old Giuliani days, and that was great. Times are different. I appreciate what you do. You're a great voice for the community. You've been around for a long time. Sterling, superb, excellent show. Audience is great. I appreciate the opportunity.
Good, thank you. We'll have you back again, and really thank you for coming up with the idea of Hakores Hatov to Mayor Eric Adams. He deserves that for speaking out. Whatever other issues are out there concerning him does not take away from the fact that we have an obligation, a religious obligation, to say thank you for people who do good for our community, especially before the Jewish New Year. So thank you, Bruce.
Seth, thank you. Have a very happy, healthy New Year. Thank you so much.
You too, in regards to Suri.
Thank you, Zev. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Bruce Teitelbaum here on the Talkline Network saying thank you. I say thank you to Bruce for saying thank you to the mayor. When we come back,